Imagine unlocking a secret chamber in an ancient temple, dust settling around you as the door creaks open. The light reveals shelves upon shelves of mysterious scrolls and manuscripts, each one holding stories, histories, and divine wisdom lost to time. Now imagine finding out that many of these scrolls were once referenced by the Bible itself, only to vanish over the centuries, their pages left to the shadows of history. These lost books have intrigued scholars, theologians, and curious minds for centuries. The Bible as we know it today contains clues about other ancient texts, books that once existed alongside Scripture, referenced in passing, but ultimately excluded from what we call the biblical canon. Each mention stirs the imagination, hinting at a deeper, wider world of knowledge that we only glimpse at in our Bibles today. What stories did these lost books tell? What wisdom did they preserve? Were they filled with heroic tales of battles fought by Israel, words of warning from prophets, or perhaps a record of divine encounters so awe-inspiring that generations were compelled to write them down? These are questions that continue to captivate us, prompting us to dig deeper into these enigmatic mentions. In today's journey, we'll explore 9 of these lost books. Each one was named in Scripture itself, giving us just a whisper of what it might contain, a tantalizing hint of the knowledge, wisdom, or divine insight hidden within its pages. These texts remind us that our Bible, powerful and complete as it is, exists within a broader tapestry of ancient faith and storytelling, one that leaves us yearning for more. Join us on this journey as we dive into the mystery of each lost book, exploring what we know, what we can only imagine, and what each might reveal if only we could read it. And if you love uncovering hidden corners of Scripture, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any upcoming insights into the mysteries of faith. 1. The Book of the Wars of the Lord. Therefore it is said in the Book of the Wars of the Lord, Waheb and Suphah, and the ravines of the Arnon. Numbers 21:14-15. This book, referred to during the Israelites' wilderness journey, sounds like an ancient military chronicle. It likely detailed Israel's encounters in battle, recording victories, struggles, and even moments of divine intervention. Imagine a collection of poems and songs capturing God's mighty hand as Israel triumphed over its enemies, a record of courage, divine deliverance, and faith in the heat of war. 2. The Book of Jasher, the Book of the Upright. Is this not written in the Book of Jasher? So the sun stood still and the moon stopped till the people had revenge upon their enemies. Joshua 10:13. Also known as the Book of the Upright, Jasher is referenced twice in the Bible. It is cited during Joshua's legendary battle, where God made the sun stand still. It also appears in 2 Samuel, recounting David's heartfelt lament for Saul and Jonathan. Picture Jasher as a book of Israel's defining moments, set to stirring prose and poetry that preserve the nation's miraculous victories and most profound losses. 3. The Acts of Solomon. Now the rest of the Acts of Solomon, all that he did in his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the Acts of Solomon? 1 Kings 11:41. Imagine a book solely dedicated to Solomon's extraordinary life, a record of his legendary wisdom, wealth, and the awe-inspiring projects he undertook, like the Grand Temple of Jerusalem. The Acts of Solomon likely documented his reign in even greater detail, providing insights into his decision-making, his famed wisdom, and perhaps even his struggles and failings as a ruler. The Book of Samuel the Seer, Book of Nathan the Prophet, and Book of Gad the Seer. Now the acts of King David, first and last, indeed they are written in the Book of Samuel the Seer, in the Book of Nathan the Prophet, and in the Book of Gad the Seer. 1 Chronicles 29:29. 3 unique books by prophets close to King David. Each one likely offered a personal perspective on David's journey, from a shepherd boy to Israel's greatest king. Samuel, Nathan, and Gad would have documented his victories, his downfalls, his moments of intense faith, and even his sins and struggles, creating a layered, nuanced portrait of one of the Bible's most beloved figures. 5. The Book of Shemaiah, the Prophet and Visions of Iddo the Seer. The Acts of Rehoboam, from first to last, are they not written in the records of Shemaiah the prophet and of Iddo the seer? 2 Chronicles, the 12:15. These books likely captured the turbulent reign of Rehoboam, Solomon's son, whose rule saw Israel's division into two kingdoms. Written by prophets Shemaiah and Iddo, they would have recorded the political upheaval, conflicts, and the divine messages that shaped Rehoboam's rule. A time filled with lessons on leadership, faith, and consequences. 6. The Acts of Uzziah by Isaiah the prophet. Now the rest of the Acts of Uzziah, first and last, the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amoz, wrote, 2 Chronicles 26:22. Imagine the prophet Isaiah, known for his powerful visions, taking on the role of historian, recording the life and deeds of King Uzziah. Uzziah's rule was marked by prosperity, strength, and sadly pride that led to his downfall. Isaiah's perspective on Uzziah might have provided a rich narrative of ambition, faith, and the dangers of pride, teaching us that even the greatest leaders are vulnerable. 7. The Book of Jehu. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat, first and last, are they not written in the book of Jehu, the son of Hanani? 2 Chronicles 20:34. Jehu the prophet documented the reign of King Jehoshaphat of Judah, a king known for his devotion to God, his bold reforms, and his alliances. Jehu's book might have captured Jehoshaphat's battles, his spiritual journey, and his efforts to lead his people faithfully. This lost record could reveal a story of faith in action, as Jehoshaphat faced both political and spiritual challenges. 8. The Lament for Josiah. All Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah. Jeremiah composed laments for Josiah, 2 Chronicles 35:25. One of the Bible's most moving references, the Lament for Josiah, was written by Jeremiah to mourn the beloved king who died tragically in battle. Josiah's reign brought spiritual renewal to Judah, and his loss was deeply felt. Imagine Jeremiah's lament, raw, emotional, a heartfelt expression of grief that reflected the sorrow of an entire nation. 9. The Chronicles of the Kings of Israel and Judah. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he made war and how he reigned, indeed they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel, 1 Kings 14:19. Separate from the biblical books of Chronicles, these records would have been the official historical accounts of Israel's and Judah's kings. This collection would have documented each ruler's reign, political decisions, alliances, conflicts, and perhaps even personal struggles and triumphs. Imagine the revelations hidden in these royal records, giving us a fuller understanding of the lives and choices of Israel's kings. These lost books remind us of the countless stories, lessons, and truths left out of our current Bible. They exist as whispers, fragments of a larger narrative, inviting us to ponder the depth of God's story and the journey of His people. As we explore these mysteries, we find ourselves drawn into a tapestry that spans ages, carrying the weight of faith, wisdom, and history. If you're as captivated by these mysteries as we are, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Join us on future journeys as we explore hidden truths, uncover lost wisdom, and dive even deeper into the scriptures. Thank you for joining us today. Let's keep uncovering these ancient mysteries together.